Hi friends, Jay Sennett here. Welcome to another edition of Cooking with Jay here in my jazz kitchen. Thanks as always for watching and hope all of you are doing well. A lot of complexity on this edition of Cooking with Jay, but some very interesting, very deep flavor profiles I'm going to create for you. I'm going to make a Moroccan Chargrilled Pork Tenderloin, right? I'm going to make a charred grilled broccolini, okay? And I'm going to make a Muscadine black grape chutney. And last but not least, an orange cauliflower bisque. Oh, we're going to do some cooking on this edition of Cooking with Jay. All right, but first, down here, we have the broccolini, and I just put some olive oil on the broccolini because we're going to go out to the grill here in just a moment. A little bit of garlic and onion powder, a little bit of salt. Now, the Moroccan pork tenderloin, I created a rub, and I left all these spices out here so I could remember what I put in there to create this rub. So you might have to run this back a few times to just get all the ingredients, but it's pretty simple. One way to remember this, I use smoked paprika, okay? A tablespoon of smoked paprika. All right, so I'm gonna move that. All right, now everything else is a tablespoon, or a teaspoon rather, a tablespoon of the smoked paprika, and everything else is a teaspoon except where are they? The cloves, okay? I use a quarter teaspoon of ground cloves. Okay, so we have the smoked paprika in here. We have the ground cloves. Now, we have a teaspoon of ground cumin, okay? We have a teaspoon of ground coriander seed. We have a teaspoon of ground allspice, okay? We have a teaspoon of some cinnamon. I'm using my Saigon cinnamon here. And last but not least, a teaspoon of cardamom, ground cardamom, okay? And, well, no, not last but not least, I put a little bit of salt in here and about half a tablespoon of sugar, okay? So you might say, why sugar? Well, sugar is interesting because it helps to caramelize the outer layer of the tenderloin when you're grilling this. And which is kind of different. You know, rubs, I created a rub. So I made this rub and rubbed it all over the tenderloin. But before I put the rub on a tenderloin, I cut the silver part of the silver skin of the tenderloin off. And that's the white, translucent kind of fatty skin that the tenderloins tend to have on them. And you slide the knife, paring knife perhaps, underneath that fat and slide it down, and then you take those layers of fat off of there. Now, the reason why you want to take the silver skin off these tenderloins, because for two reasons. One, it affects how they cook. And I'm putting these on the grill, okay? So if you have that silver skin on the tenderloin when you put them on the grill, it's going to affect how they cook. Plus, it's kind of chewy, all right? So it's going to affect how you know, when you bite into the tenderloin, have that silver skin on there, that's not going to work. So you want to get that silver skin off the tenderloin, then create your rub and put the spice on the tenderloin. Now I like to leave it on the tenderloin for at least a half an hour. Put it on the tenderloin, put it in the refrigerator, let it sit for about a half an hour or an hour, and then bring it out and then get it back at room temperature, okay? So, and again, I have the broccolini with some olive oil, garlic and onion powder, a little bit of salt. And we're gonna go out to the grill and get these things cooking. And then we're gonna come back and I'm gonna show you how I make this orange cauliflower bisque and the Muscadine black grape chutney. There's a lot happening on this edition of Cooking with Jay. Let's go out to the grill. Okay, out here outside at the grill, a little breezy out here tonight, so we're not gonna be out here that long. The grill is nice and preheated right now. So we have the spice rubbed tenderloins we're gonna put on here. Yeah, I have two of them. My Moroccan char-grilled tenderloin. And then we're going to put some of the broccolini out here. Get a char-grilled broccolini happening. with these. Because these will get kind of charred, actually, so you get a crispy texture. All right. Now, pork loins out here on the grill for about 15, 20 minutes, and then I'll check the thickest part of the meat, and you want to get it at about 145 degrees, somewhere around the center, 145 degrees, then you know you got a perfectly cooked tenderloin, okay? So, while these are grilling, we're going to go back to the stove, and I'm going to show you how I make this orange cauliflower bisque and this Muscadine black grape chutney. Delicious. So let's go back to the stove inside. Okay, all right, while the pork tenderloins are cooking on the grill and the broccolini is out there as well, I want to talk about what I have going on here because it's pretty complex, okay? First, here I have a Muscadine black grape chutney. And why, you know, the Muscadine black grape is interesting because it's indigenous to America, all right? It's a tough skin grape, and that's part of the reason why I wanted to make a chutney, because I cook it and it softens up that outer layer. It's a thick, tough layer, but oh, I love the taste of these grapes though. And because of the thickness and the toughness of this outer layer, they have some great nutritional value, the Muscadine black grapes do. And you know, some interesting things, when you say indigenous to America, there's some debate. It's, you know, they popped up in the southeast somewhere. Some say Florida, some say North Carolina. I don't care about that. I just love the grape. And one interesting thing about it, because of what the grape is, the consistency of the grape and how it develops, and I forget what they call it, but it keeps insects away from the grapes. In the Mediterranean region, they have, you know, serious problems sometimes with a particular insect that will, you know, destroy like vines of grapes, but not the Muscadine black grape. You know, the insects don't like these for some reason. But a lot of nutritional value, great flavor, but again, they have that tough skin on it. So I decided to make a chutney. Now, in this chutney, everything in the cabinet is in this chutney. No, seriously. I dice up the grape. I avoid the center with the seeds, okay, because there's seeds in these grapes, okay? Dice them up little pieces. Put the grapes in here. I dice up a red onion, a small red onion, or actually maybe half of a red onion. Dice it up, put it in here. I put about half a cup of brown sugar, light brown sugar. I have about quarter cup of honey in here as well. I have about a small teaspoon of mustard seeds. I have about a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in here. Let's see, what else? I have some lime juice, about a half a cup of lime juice in here. I have, let's see, I put some ginger, about maybe a tablespoon of some freshly ground grated ginger. I have some garlic in here as well, a couple of cloves of finely minced up garlic, and just a pinch of salt, okay? Pinch of salt. That's what I have going on in this Muscadine black grape chutney. And one thing about pork, since I'm making the tenderloins, it works well, in my opinion, of course. I think pork works perfectly with fruit, like apples, you know, or grapes, actually, black grapes or red grapes or pineapple, something fruity always connects me to pork. You know, I think that's a great match, fruit and pork. So that's the, and then you put it in a pot and you cook it, stir it up, you know, fairly frequently for about 20 minutes. The grapes will get soft, the skin will get soft. So you kind of have a sweet and sour thing happening right here with this black grape chutney. Now, Over here, I have the makings of my orange cauliflower bisque, okay? In case you maybe didn't know, cauliflower can come in different colors. There's purple cauliflower, and in this case, the orange cauliflower. They call it orange, but it really looks yellow. So I took some butter, put it in a saucepan, okay? Melt the butter, diced up a small onion, diced up a little bit of celery, okay? Some carrots, a little bit of carrots in here, and cook the onions, celery, carrots for a few minutes in that butter. Then I break up the cauliflower florets, put them in here, stir them around, let it get soft, a little bit soft. Add a little bit more butter if you need it. Then I add a couple of cups of chicken broth. Okay, you can also use vegetable broth, but I'm using chicken broth in here, okay? And then the florets will get soft, okay, at about 15, 20 minutes. And once they're at that point, which they are right now, I'm going to go over here to my food processor, okay? And we're going to add this mixture to the food processor. Should do this over the sink. Let's see if I can do it from right here without making a complete mess. I'm going to go over here to the sink and do this at the sink very quickly. And that was a good idea. Okay. All right. Back over here. All right. So we're going to get a little noisy. And let's see. Let's do... Okay. So now what I want to do is add some heavy cream. Add about a half a cup to 3/4 cup of heavy cream, okay? Then I want to add some salt, all right? Some salt here. And I'm going to add some freshly ground black pepper. You can also use white pepper, all right? And my final little touch to my cauliflower bisque, I'm going to add just a little bit of Parmesan, fresh Parmesan, grated Parmesan cheese in there, just a little, not much, okay? And cover this back up. All right, now what I will do, I will taste, find my trusty spoon. I can add a little bit more black pepper. All right. A little bit more black pepper, and I'm going to add a little bit more of this cream. So maybe a cup of this heavy cream. Okay. And, all right, pulse it light. All right, and there's one more thing I want to do. I'm going to get the bowl, and I want to come over here to my counter and get the sieve. Okay, actually I can do it over here. We can do it over here. All right, move this away a little bit. And I want to turn that off. I'm going to pour this through the sieve. Okay. Why do I want to do that? Well, it makes it really smooth and creamy. And you can also create a mess if you're not careful. All right. Try one more. Orange cauliflower bisque. So you'll get it nice and smooth in that bowl. there. Put that over there and that back up here, and I'm gonna move this over here. So we have the Muscadine black grape chutney, and I told you how I'm put that together. Then we have the orange cauliflower bisque, okay? And we have the charred broccolini, charred grilled broccolini, and the Moroccan Chargrilled Pork Tenderloins are cooking on the grill as I speak. And so what we're going to do, we're going to go out and check on those, and then we're going to come back, and then we're going to plate. I'm going to plate this delicious multi-layered meal for you, which is, I think, pretty interesting, pretty creative, and I think you're going to love it if you want to try it. So let me go out to the grill, and then you'll see me in just a few seconds. Okay, these beautiful tenderloins off the grill, and they've been resting a little bit outside. So I'm going to put them on the board. Wow, look at that. And it smells delicious. And I also have a charred broccolini, because we're going to start to plate. Okay. Get to that. And I want to get this chutney, this Muscadine black grape chutney. Now you might say, well, how can we use this? Well, you can dip your pork tenderloin in it, right? And making a mess. Okay, set this down. All right, now what we're going to do, we're going to cut the tenderloin. All right. And you want to cook it till it's about 140, 145 internally on the thickest part of the meat. Okay. I'm going to do this without breaking up that crust, that nice crusty exterior. All right, just a couple more slices. I'll just cut this one for right now. Okay, so what we're going to do, now one thing I will do as well, I want to put some of that chutney over and then this, my orange cauliflower bisque. I put a little bit of mint leaves right there as a garnish. There we have it. That is my dinner for this edition of Cooking with Jay. It's my Moroccan Chargrilled Pork Tenderloin with this rub that I made using smoked paprika, some ground cardamom, cumin, crushed coriander, a little bit of allspice, about a quarter teaspoon, a small quarter teaspoon of some ground cloves, some sugar to help caramelize that exterior, and a pinch of salt in there. You know, you can go back to the beginning and watch how I made that, talking about the ingredients for that rub. And I also talked about the rub versus the marinade, okay? Because with the marinade, you're not going to get the same kind of crispy texture. It'll be good, flavorful with the marinade, but with the rubs, you can get, particularly with some of that sugar in there to help caramelize it, you get a nice crispy texture on the outside of that pork tenderloin. And remember to move the silver skin off, cut it off the tenderloin before you put your rub on. And then the broccolini, just some olive oil, salt, a little bit of garlic and onion powder up there. The orange cauliflower bisque, which looks a little yellow because I put the cream in and lightened it up a bit. Some butter, onions, carrots, salt and pepper, and I put a little bit of Parmesan cheese in there, some cream, heavy cream, and some chicken broth. And you can also use vegetable broth. Then puree it in the food processor, get it smooth. You can also add a little cornstarch in there to thicken it up a bit if it's too runny for you. I added a little cornstarch in there. You didn't see me do that, but I did, to thicken it up a little bit. And then the Muscadine black grape chutney. And I decided to go with a chutney with this black grape because the skin on the black grapes, the Muscadine black grapes, very tough, you know, kind of tough and thick. And the cooking them, right, with the honey and the sugar and the lime juice and the garlic and the ginger. I put some crushed red pepper flakes in there. They add a little bit of heat as well, a little bit of apple cider vinegar, a pinch of salt, a lot of stuff in this chutney, but it softens that exterior of the grape, all right? And you get this beautiful sweet and sour taste with this black grape. So that's what's happened. There's a lot was happening on this edition of Cooking with Jay. I'm Jay Sennett. Cooking with Jay airs Sunday evenings at 6 on the WHRO Public Media Facebook page. And if you can't watch it at 6, it'll be on the page for a while. Just scroll down like a lot of people do. They can't watch it at 6. They might watch it at 10 o'clock that night or the next day. Just scroll down because it'll be on the page. And you can see archive programs of Cooking with Jay at the WHRO Public Media YouTube channel. Okay, don't forget my Send In Session Jazz Show on 89.5, Monday through Thursday nights from 9 until 1, Saturday mornings 1 until 5, and Sunday afternoons from 1 until 5 on 89.5 WHRV FM. Hope you enjoyed the show. Be safe, friends, and until the next edition of Cooking with Jay, I'm Jay Sennett. We'll see you then. Take care. Hi everyone, Jay Sennett here. Cooking with Jay is now even more jazzy in my new home with my chef's kitchen. I'd love for you to check it out. Join me Sunday evenings at 6 on Facebook at WHRO Public Media. Let's get cooking.